Hello, I'm David. Thanks for checking out this vintage playthrough of Dinosaurs of the Lost World, a game that I've owned since 1987 is when it came out. I think I got it that year or maybe the following year, but I was still in high school. And my friends in high school and we would play this. And in fact, a friend of mine also bought a copy. So there's a lot of nostalgia with this, and Don Greenwood is one of the developers of this. And you may remember, seeing the little thing on the back here for those of you who remember owning Avalon Hill games from this time period. See, I always had this little chart here. And in fact, when I opened up the game, I had this card here to send in. Some of you, this might be bringing back memories. To send it in and let them know what you think. So I haven't seen that in a long time. So that's pretty cool that I kept that. And then even had the to subscribe to the General, which I have some old copies because my brothers, I still have all the Squad Leader and Advanced Squad Leader games. But yeah, some little vintage stuff there, and I even kept, the punch outs. This is when I was an aspiring game designer, so I would keep stuff like that. But I'm glad I did. So you'll see here on the box, this is an interesting playthrough because I'm also advocating for this to be redone. Kind of like how I'll remember the name of the company in a minute, but they redid Dark Tower and Fireball Island restoration games. Now, Avalon Hill obviously probably has this in their catalog, and I would encourage them to redo this, and maybe with the Jurassic Park license. This is one reason why I brought this out again, to play with Julie. Julie would give this a 5 or a 6. Okay, she wasn't that impressed. And that's why, for me, it's nostalgia. I rate this higher, at least as a 7. Because I will play this if I'm in the mood. And so if we look at this here, it says adventure game for adults and children ages 8 and up, and it includes solitaire version. And that's what I'm going to play. And I think that's all there is on the box there. All right, so I'll put this back here. So this is with our series as of late of doing games with dinosaur themes. And there's some other ones I'm going to show you, Julie and I. That are more recent. But this one I'm doing myself because Julie just didn't find it that exciting. So how do you play 8 and up? Well, there is rules here for where you're going to in this version, you would capture dinosaurs. Okay. And it's you don't hurt the dinosaurs, you're just trying to capture them. So you could play with ages 8 and up. And then it includes a glossary of information about the creatures right here. So that's kind of nice. Now, I don't know how outdated this is, keeping in mind that it's 35 years ago. Who knows if they've updated this research by now. So typical Avalon Hills, it is sequential rules with decimal numbering. And usually that's a good thing. In this case, it is so dense with not enough examples that it would be a frustrating read. Now, for those of you who grew up on SPI and Avalon Hill games, you'll be fine. You just got to make notes like I did of the exceptions. So here's my little note sheet of exceptions, especially for the solitaire rules. And I normally don't like to do this, but I also underline certain things. See, blocks of text is bad, and lack of emphasis techniques. The original Squad Leader rulebook doesn't do this as bad. Advanced Squad Leader, yes, it does. But yeah, just blocks of text. And so it will be challenging if you do want to hunt this down and you're not used to playing. It's moderately complex, only because of all the little exceptions. Okay, so right here is the rules for solitaire. And so in the original, in the competitive version, You can have 4 players, and each player will start in the camp here. So here are the other pieces. Now, one thing is interesting is that the pawns don't match the colors. So I'm green. I put my green pawn here because there's a track that will be on the outside of the board that I will be rolling dice on, and depending on where I land will tell me what can happen here on the plateau. The object of the game is to get at least 25 victory points and escape. In the solitaire version, you have only 40 turns to do that. In the competitive version, you have as many turns as you need until someone does it. Now, why do they say 25 or more? Because it's possible that you could escape on the same turn, and then, you know, whoever has the most victory points. But anyway, so these pieces won't be needed because I'm playing solitaire. All these dinosaurs are off to the side. And you may wonder, why is it have the stands weird like this? Well, because if you were to remake this game, you shouldn't be putting the name of the dinosaur right where you put the gripper. Okay, so that's why you see it weird like this. But for the camera, I'm laying it down so you can see where they are. So everybody starts out in the base camp. For me, solitaire, I start out there. You put your pawns here. And just to explain how this track works here, I'll be rolling the dice, and I'll go back and forth on the track until I get at least 6 victory points. When I get over 6, then I go from 6 to 12. I only go between this area. When I get 12 to 18, I go between this area. And when I get at least 18 to 25, I get this much. And if you lose victory points, if I drop below a number, you still stay in that particular area. And so each one of these do things. If you find a tool, you need tools to go on adventures, which I'm going to show in a moment. Creatures will be moved. You'll draw event cards. Good or bad things can happen. You can climb a tree to look at these tiles here that I'll be putting down. And eventually you can take another turn, get experience cards. Experience cards are very valuable because you can use it to pick where you want to land on here instead of rolling the dice, and when you go on these adventures. So that's what's really nostalgic for me. You have little comic book adventures that when you go into a spot on the plateau, you're going to finish this adventure. Now this can get some downtime though for everybody else playing. So if you're playing a 3-player game, all other 3 players have to wait until that player finishes that adventure. So that's one thing they can speed up if they were to remake this, if possible, is that this slows down the game. That's all I got to say about that. But that's what makes it so much fun. You start out with certain dinosaurs. The rocky track here is the Ankylosaurus. The Dimetrodon is in the marsh. The Allosaurus is in the Central Lake. And the Indians start in the Indian caves. And you'll see that there are red stars on here. So if I were to move into here, I'd get 1 victory point. Marsh, I don't get anything. Here, rocky track, get 1 victory point. 1 here. Indian caves, 1 victory point. And the Central Lake, 1 victory point. To get there, though, you have to have the canoe. You'll see there's a pile of tools here that you can find as the game progresses. And before you start the game, all players, and same thing with the solo version, you write down 8 tools. I'm sorry, I got to get this so that it's not so shiny there. Okay. So I wrote down camera, egg crate, lariat, net, shovel, gas bomb, which allows me to run away from one dinosaur automatically, but then the gas bomb is expended. I have 2 rifles. You can take up to 2. So being experienced in this game, I know I need 2 rifles. And I only have 5 ammo for each one. And why do you need rifles? Because if you encounter, let's say I encounter the T-Rex, okay? It lands on my space. I can move onto the T-Rex, that's fine, but if it lands on me, then I have to battle it. So it's going to be, its strength is going to be 8 plus the roll of 1 die. So it could be possibly a value of 9, gosh, I'm trying to get this in focus, a value of 9 to 14, because you're going to roll at least a 1, and you can roll as up to a 6. So if I can spend 2 rifle shots, the most I can get is 12. So I won't be able to beat that Tyrannosaurus with only 2 rifles. I can use a gas bomb to get away. But you could also get Indian allies and ape allies. And you can use one of those allies. So you'll see here that at some point in the game, I might write ape allies or Indian allies with 3 dots. So then I can roll another 6-sided die. Now, one of those rules that you got to remember playing the game is that if you have ape allies or Indian allies, you can't use both of them in the same encounter. So the most I can roll is 3 6-sided dice. So I could potentially beat the T-Rex. Let's say I roll for the T-Rex. It's an 11. And if I spend 2 rifle shots, that's a 6. And if I get... Okay, I failed. So I would have had to have had 8 men or Indian allies to even roll that 3rd die. Now, I failed. So I will be going back to the base camp for sure. And then losing a turn. In the meantime, though, I got to run away from the T-Rex. So the T-Rex is says here, that's what that B means. The B is the T-Rex is going to start here. And so I go first. I go 1 downhill, I go another 1. You just follow the directions. Now, if the T-Rex catches up to me, I lose tools. And in the solitaire version, if you lose all your tools, you're out of the game. But in the competitive version, you need tools to go on adventures. So you'll see on this card right here. Now these are double back to back. And here's a tool list. I'm going to show that to you in a moment here. How did I pick the tools? I'm going to show that. But it will say at the beginning of the adventure, Indian Caves adventure, right here in the corner. So if I show that, it says that if I have the flashlight or gifts, or both, I can get up to 4 experience cards. Now, why do you want experience cards? Because then experience cards, you spin them to move on frames instead of rolling the die. And so I could spend those experience cards to avoid bad frames in the comic. If I roll a die, I can roll randomly and land somewhere I don't want, where I have to fight a dinosaur or I get kicked out of the adventure. And so you're trying to get victory points going on these adventures, and each frame will tell you, like for instance, if I go here, spot a toxodon, I'll get 1 victory point. And remember, the object is to get 25 victory points. So I might want to spend those experience points cards to land on specific spaces and avoid others. If I land on the right space, I can get, if I get kicked out, I can go back in the adventure and retry. But if I do manage to complete it, I can't go back in it again except for certain ones. And I mark it off on the sheet that I can't go back in it again. But certain ones you can go in more than once, because in order to escape the plateau, you either have the lost map, the rope, or the trampoline. And if you have the lost map, you can escape through the Indian Caves. Is it the Indian Caves? Hang on. Yes. If you have the rope, you use that. So there's 3 ways to get off the plateau. Where is the rope? I'm trying to remember which adventure that goes with. I think it might be, I can't remember. But the trampoline is with the geysers, because you fill up at the geyser. If I find the, where's the geyser one? Oh, right here. The geyser, if this comes up, because these are all going to be upside down. If I find the trampoline and I land on the right frame, then I get off with a balloon. I have to look up how the rope works again, which one that is. So so repeatable adventures is the Indian Caves, the geyser, and the pinnacle. Okay, the pinnacle adventure, because you're up really high, and then you can use the rope to get down. That's the adventure that you can use to get off the plateau. So you'll see that there are some things that you're going to find here on the plateau that are bad, like traps, where you can lose your turn. The lost camp, you can get more tools. You need these items to get off. And these are all adventures here that tie in to these frames. Okay, and there's a bunch of nothing here's. And then here's a shortcut. So what I'm going to do now, so I got to turn all these over. This is part of the setup. So as I'm doing this, I know I jumped around a lot there. The object is to get those 25 victory points, find one of those objects, and escape the plateau. And that's for the competitive version and in the solitaire version. One of the main differences in the competitive version is is that when you land on move a creature, you can move a creature one space. In the solitaire version, we're going to be using this chart and this hexagon numbering here to move dinosaurs randomly. And in the competitive version, expeditions can land on each other and steal things, steal tools. But you can't do that in the base camp. And in both versions, the base camp, no dinosaurs can enter it. And if you wanted to see where I found out what tools were available, you have this whole sheet right here. And it tells you in the brackets how many experience cards you will get on that adventure if you go into it, and what adventures you can use it on. So for instance, if you have the binoculars, you can use it on the rocky tract, and in Central Lake, and then the camera, most adventures. So you always want a camera because you can use that if you land on certain panels of the comic to get victory points. So it's pretty much everybody always takes that one. Remember, you can have up to 2 rifles to start with. And if you find a third rifle, you just keep it. And it just gives, basically, it's another rifle to use later on when you run out of ammo. And this tells you what tools are useful in certain adventures, just a different chart right there. And so, I see. The bracket is receive, the parentheses, you receive this number of experience cards, and the bracket is the tool is useful in that number of frames in the adventure. Interesting. Okay. So that's why you have brackets and parentheses. All right, so there's a chart. I'm going to put the cards over here. Let's finish setting this up here. I think I shuffled up. So you see where the white stars are. That's where I put them randomly. So one thing that's kind of, this is, if someone were to redo this game, I have to keep track of stuff on paper. And that's, old school gaming. When my brothers and I had a game company, we made that mistake too of having record sheets. It was so old school. And I would never have done that again as a game designer. Which is kind of funny because you have roll and writes now. But this was beyond roll and write, okay? It's one thing to do when you always check out the scene before you start a business in whatever business you want to start. In other words, we exhibited our prototype at Gamma in 1999 right away. And we should have just attended Gamma. And if we would have attended Gamma, we would have seen that the new Avalon Hill had just come out and things were all going wood and plastic. And we should have changed our design. And this is before Kickstarter. So one thing I've learned from that experience, check things out. Observe before you jump in head first. Okay, so let me read a little bit of these notes I took here. You can lose victory points. So for instance, if I am instructed to play an experience card in on an adventure and I don't have it, I'll lose a victory point. If I'm instructed to lose a tool and I don't have it and I can't, if I start an adventure with a tool and then I lose it and I can't get rid of the experience cards that it provided, I can lose a lot of victory points. I can lose victory points if there's no tool or experience card to lose on an escape track. Now, in the solitaire version, I'll lose a game if I don't have a tool to lose. I'll be forced to exit adventure if I ever have to go backwards past 1. I can still go back in it. Repeatable adventures is the Indian Caves, Geyser, and Pinnacle. Otherwise, for instance, the Iguanodon Glade. If I finish that, I'll never be able to get to go on that one again. Let's see if there's anything else special here. There's only certain dinosaurs that can go in the Central Lake. The Apatosaurus, the Indians, and the pterodactyl. The Indians would be my ally. The ape men will not go on the lake. And then I can have a maximum hand size of 5 experience cards. And if I complete an adventure, I discard all experience cards that I had remaining, but then I will draw one new one at the as a reward. And you might be thinking, well, how would I get that many? Because you can pick up more experience cards here on the edges. All right, and then you'll see how this plays as we move along here, how the creatures move. So one thing that happens in the solitaire version, usually when you reveal a site, that dinosaur will appear. But in the solitaire version, if I roll the dinosaur and the dinosaur is not on the map yet, I put that dinosaur in the watering place. Okay, so I have my objects, I have my 2 rifles. I got to keep track. Now this is where I can forget, okay? I got to keep track of what turn it is. I have 40 turns to get off. There's one little exception. Again, it wouldn't be an Avalon Hill game without an exception. And I'm going to read it to you right here because I have to remind myself. All right, so if the volcano erupts event card comes up, I have to try to get off the plateau right away, even if I don't have 25 victory points. If I do, I tie. But here's the exception. If the lava pit location hasn't come up yet on the plateau, I ignore the volcano erupts. So it's one of those exceptions. And that's where, in modern game design, you want to remove as many exceptions like this as possible. You shouldn't have to have a sheet like this. And really, it should have a reference sheet, which not many games did back then. Yes, you have a reference sheet for the tools and stuff, okay? But for other things, they usually didn't do that. All right, so let's go. So first thing I do, turn order is pretty easy. I roll the 2 dice, move along this track. I ignore the top part if I'm in the camp. And how do I move on the plateau? Well, the number here in the right-hand corner tells me how many spaces I can move up to. And whatever I roll for movement on here, I use for the creature chart. So here we go. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the move the creature always happens no matter what. And I can move 1 space. But first, we move the creature. So the creature I got to move, it says here, the Apatosaurus. Is the Apatosaurus on the board? No. See, Apatosaurus is revealed right here. I put the Apatosaurus on the watering place. So now I roll 2 dice for which direction and how far. 2, it goes to the right, 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it always goes clockwise when it gets to the edge. So there's the Apatosaurus. Now if the Apatosaurus, say I was there, then I would had to have used my gas bomb or fight with a rifle or not fight at all and just run away. But then I would lose a turn. All right, so I can move 1 space. I'm going to get a move this way. So that's that turn. Okay, next turn. I roll again. 4, 1. Now I wrap around the other way because I don't have over 6 victory points yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, dinosaur that's going to move is the Ankylosaurus. The Ankylosaurus is here. So it would have been nice to provide 2 different colored dice. Okay, it's going to go to the right. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how it wrapped around because it doesn't go off the board. So they're all kind of going around the edges right there. And I move 1 space again. Okay, I'm going to this unexplored spot. Let's see what happens. Of course, it's a pit trap, and I got to lose a tool. So that really blows. Well, I'm going to lose my gas bomb. Probably a mistake. Okay. And so now, you know what, I should have went to the pinnacle to get a victory point, but that's the way it goes. All right, next turn. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I find a tool. So I draw randomly right here. And I have another lariat. See, why couldn't I have gotten that before? Because then I could have lost it because it's a duplicate. So duplicate tools do not give you more experience in the adventure. It's helpful in the competitive game if you're robbed, you know, somebody steals something, or you got to get rid of tools like I had to earlier. Okay, now I can move 2 spaces. Now you can't jump over unexplored. You have to end your move there. So I'm going to go, well, there's a pit trap. I'm going to go to this one. The geyser. Okay, so I've discovered the geyser. And it tells you right here it is, in case you can't see this, it says D. So if I want to go in it, that will be next turn. So it's 1 victory point, so for at least discovering it. So the game encourages in the cooperative version, I mean in the competitive version, to try to beat other players to discover things. So I have 1 victory point for that. So let's see. So we're on the, oh, what did I roll again? I rolled a 5. I was supposed to move the monster for a dinosaur. The Alamosaurus is going to move. I forgot to mention that everybody can move around the edges, just not into the very center of the lake. So Alamosaurus is going to move to the left, 2 spaces, 1, and then clockwise right there. So it's at the edge right there. It could, you know, circle the whole thing if it rolled a 6. All right, so on the next turn, I mark the next turn. Remember, I have 40 turns. Now, do I want to go in or not? So D. Let's take a look at D. I need the hose and protective clothing, which is a tool I don't have. So I don't know if I want to go on this adventure right now because I don't have enough experience cards. I'd be rolling the dice. You know, I want to put it like right here because I got to be able to see it better. Here we go. Okay. I'd be going in there with no experience cards, and I'd be rolling the dice randomly. And if you look here, I could battle a dinosaur, draw an experience card. I can't escape. No longer possible. Exit adventure. So the vent dries up. If anybody lands on 3, you're not going to be able to use the topping to get off the plateau. 1 victory point, make 2 gas bombs if you have the hoses, which I don't. Score 1 victory point, battle 8 men, lose an experience card, which means I'd lose a victory point because I wouldn't have one to lose. Score 2 victory points, battle a dinosaur, lose a tool, draw an event card, complete adventure. Battle a dinosaur, but if you get to 15 plus and if you have the topping, you can get off the plateau if you have 25 victory points. So now you see why I'm not going to go on that with no experience cards, because I'm not going to roll the dice randomly. So at least I know it's there. So instead, I'm rolling. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, event. First, so I got to move the dinosaur, is the Triceratops. The Triceratops is not on the board. Goes here in the watering hole. And it's going to move to the right 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the Apatosaurus and the Triceratops are together. Remember, I can move into that space. They don't attack me if I move onto it. But if they start to move, they will attack me then. Okay, event. Now, events can be good or bad. So this is where you can get some... the randomness can be punishing in this game. So that would be one thing that I think would be good to modify if it's ever reprinted. So maybe not make it so brutal. All right, so this is, you find a discarded, I'm having trouble seeing it on the camera here, hang on. plesiosaur membrane in the Indian caves, with which you can make a balloon to escape the plateau by ending the geyser adventure. So this is where I didn't have to find the topping on the plateau, which I can still find, but I keep this card. And if play at your option, but only when ending your turn at the Indian caves, keep this card as an escape item. So I gotta find it in the Indian caves and then use it on the geyser adventure. So kind of a wordy way to do that. So I will put this over here to remind me that I have that. So that was the event, and I could still move 2. I'm going to go here. The reason why, because I want to have a spot to get back to the camps if I want to. Now I can move over these. But you know what? I'm going to go all the way to the edge here. Okay, nothing here. Oh, I forgot to mark down that that was another turn. You know what? I'm trying to make this work best here. Okay, I'll put my extra tool there. I'll just do it like right there. So, turn 6. So that's one thing you can forget, is marking down turns. All right, here I go, next turn. So it's the next turn, which I already marked off. So I caught up for the last turn and marked it off. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I move the Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus is not on the board. Tyrannosaurus is here in the watering hole. And it's going to move to the left near me 2 spaces. 1, 2. That's not good. And I gave up my gas bomb. Well, we'll see what happens here. And I can move 1 space. Well, I'll move to this one. Nothing here. Okay. Let me just check something real quick here. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was playing it right. Every time the player makes a dice roll from on the movement track, you use that same dice roll and consult the creature chart. So there you go. And then okay, this is what I forgot to do. If the player has landed on move a creature square, he must move the selected creature directly towards his hex. So I don't consult the hexagon. So at least with the Tyrannosaurus Rex, I rolled the 5. So there might have been a couple times where I was supposed to have him move towards me when I landed on these, but at least with the T-Rex, it happened anyway. All right, so mark the next turn. So I did forget to do that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now this creature has to move towards me. And it's going to be the 8 men. 8 men pop up here in the watering hole. And so it's going to move 2 spaces, and 8 men and T-Rex are sharing the same space. How nice. Okay, and I move 1 space. I'll move right here. Nothing here. Okay, mark off the next turn. Here I go. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm going to be drawing an event, but what creature am I moving? The Stegosaurus. Do I even have the Stegosaurus on the board? I do not. Okay, the Stegosaurus, because I'm not on a move creature, I roll, it's going to go to the left 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So it's right below me. A lot of creatures are around me right now. And I got to do the event. See what happens here. Okay, as long as it's black text, it's a good card. It's when I get red text cards, I gotta be really careful here. Okay, let's see here. Witness a primeval life and death struggle at the Iguanodon Glade. If you are attacked at the Iguanodon Glade, you may summon any other creature within 2 hexes of the glade to battle your attacker. As a creature you summon wins or ties. So basically, if I go on into the glade adventure and there's a dinosaur nearby, I can summon that dinosaur. So this card's only good on that adventure. So I'm going to put that right here. Put that right here. So you keep these off to the side. You know, I have a feeling I'll be moving these around a lot. So I want to put it right here. Moving on. I can move 2 spaces. I'll go to this unexplored site here. I got to get away from all these creatures. Okay, Ape Town. I discover it, 1 victory point. I mark that. And next turn I can go in it. Let's take a look at what it is right now. It is B. So I got to find it. Oh, here's B. And the lariat and food. All right, so I could go on this one because I will be able to get 1 experience card. So I think I will, just so I can show you guys how this works. All right, so next turn, I'm going in Ape Town. Okay, so I put that over right here. And just because I have 2 lariats doesn't mean I get 2 experience cards. So I get 1 experience card. So I have this 1 to use. Now, if I use the 1 right away, I lose my way and exit the adventure. So I'm just going to have to roll the die, and hopefully I don't get screwed here. Where are the dice? So instead of rolling on the plateau for movement, I'm going in the adventure. And when you do that, I don't have to roll for dinosaurs either. So see if I get lucky. I'll use a different pawn for this. Okay. 3. I landed on 3. Ambushed. Battle 8 men. Well, see, I got unlucky already. So the 8 men, now you may see that there is a 4B and a 6. Well, they're strength 6 when they're in their habitat. So I'm going to use 2 rifles. Well, I get to decide after I see what they roll. So 6 plus 1, they have a 7. I'm still going to roll 2 rifle shots. So I mark them off. I got a tie or beat a 7. And I failed. All right, so not a good adventure. So I can go back in this one if I need to. And so 8 men start here on the track. So now I'm running away. I didn't even complete this adventure. I do get to keep this card for later. I don't have to discard it. So I'm putting it off to the side. So I'm going to put it right here. I can use it later. Now if I finish the adventure, I would have to discard it if I didn't use it. All right, so now the 8 men are chasing me. All right, so I roll first. And I put them on B right here. Okay, 2. 1. I go again. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dinosaur encounter. Escape to camp. So what that means is a dinosaur attacks the 8 men and I get away. Now, even though the 8 men fought me the adventure, they're not on the map. Yeah, they were on the map, or they're with the T-Rex. So I put them back where they were. Actually, no, I put them back on Ape Town. That's right. I put them on Ape Town. And I go back to the camp. Hang on, did I move the board there? Yeah, I did. Hang on. Let me adjust that. Wondering why I was looking a little cockeyed there on the main camera. Okay. So, I'll lose a turn. And the 8 men are back here on their home territory. When I think about that, hang on. It's when they pop, it's when you reveal it, you put the creature there. and they were here on the map board. So that's where I'll put them back. Maybe in the rules was something about that they do go there. I just know that if you encounter them in the adventure, yeah, they do. They go back to here. At least I think so. Well, that's how it's going to be this game. All right, so I lost my turn. At least I didn't lose any tools running away. But it's not so bad. I got other things I can explore here. But I did lose a turn. Remember, I only have 40 turns to do this. 11. Oh, no, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Climb a tree, so I can reveal something. And, but first, let me move. Now, I'm safe in the base camp. Oh, because I'm in the base camp, I don't get to climb a tree. You ignore it when you're in the base camp. But the dinosaur still moves. The Triceratops is going to move to the right, which means it moves clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I get to move up to 3 spaces. I'll go right here. 1. Actually, I'll go pinnacle. Get 1 victory point for that. And then 2, 3. Okay, the topoline. So now I can go on the geyser adventure to get out. So I did find that. So I put it off to the side right here. Okay. Next turn, I'll mark it off. Again, if this game would be remade, you should have a turn track on here. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Event card. But first, it's moving. Triceratops is going to move to the upper left. 3. 1, 2, 3. It's over there. Okay, event. See if it's good or bad. It's red. It's not good. Okay, your guide has deserted you. You may not play an experience card on the movement track for the remainder of the gameplay immediately. So that means is I could have used this 1 red to move on here instead of rolling the dice. So yeah, kind of sucks. But oh well. And I can move 2. I will go... There's no dinosaurs up here. Let's go 1, 2. Yeah, I can go across this part. It's just not the central part of the lake. Nothing here. Nothing clean. Wash day. All right. Write down that. Next turn. 7. I forget. Oh. You know what? I had this reversed. Because this has to point which way you're going. So that's my mistake. I apologize. I think I was going that way. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So the next creature is going to move towards me, and it is the T-Rex. So the T-Rex is going to go that to the right. 1 space. I get to go 1 space. I should have remembered that. All right. Apatosaurus Swamp. 1 victory point. I found that. And remember, I need 25. Next turn, it is A. Let's go in that one. Let's go on the Apatosaurus. So I got to mark down that turn. I'm going to go in. I got to get victory points here. And at least I start out already with 1 experience card, even if it's just a 1. All right. So, I have just the egg crate. So I get 1 experience card. 2 1s, huh? That's not very helpful. Now, I could read the special effect here. Reclaim an item you just lost for any reason. Add 1 to any chase or battle die roll. That's good to know. But I wish I would have had something different. Like you can get cards that allow you to discard and get a new one. Well, I'm not going to battle the T-Rex, so I just got to roll randomly, see what happens. 6. So I skipped all these frames. I skipped one where I could have gotten a victory point. But here, lose 1 ammo or 1 experience card. That's because there's a snake here. It says, that's no branch. Now, move ahead 2 frames with canoe. Otherwise, move backwards next move. This is a crappy adventure. Well, I'll lose an ammo. Okay. And you can't combine cards to make it 2. So I'm just going to have to roll a die. Shoot. Move ahead 2 frames with the canoe or otherwise move backwards next move. Alright, well, I'm going to have to roll to move backwards. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Score 1 victory point. Discover a Tanostraphicus. Alright, I'm up to 5 victory points. 20 more to go. Which one is this? This is the Glade one. Yeah, I'm out in the Iguanodon Glade. Trying to keep all this on camera for y'all. Alright, now if I move forward 1, play an experience card for next move. So I'm not going to be able to do that. These cards are not really helping me too well. So I'm just going to have to roll randomly. 3, I go to 5. Hey, got lucky. Got a victory point. Okay, now if I spin a 1, that's where I lose an ammo or experience card, so I'm just going to roll randomly. Okay, I move to 11. Spotted from above. Battle Apatosaurus. Alright, so the Apatosaurus appears. It has a 6. And then it rolls, wow, a 12. That really sucks. A 12, even if I spend 2 ammo, it's not likely I'm going to get a 12, even if I use any of these cards. So I guess I'm not even going to resist it. I'm just going to have to run away and do a chase again. So I didn't finish that one either. But hey, at least I got some victory points. I got 3 on that one. And so I start here. At least it's slow with a C. And I can use this one here to add 1 to the chase roll. So here we go. I go first. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Apatosaurus goes 2. 1, 2. Okay, I go again. 3. 1, 2, 3. It goes 3. 1, 2, 3. I go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I would have landed here perfectly, I could have taken the shortcut. 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it goes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dinosaur encounter. Escape to camp. I think that's... maybe I played that wrong. Maybe that's when the dinosaur gets there. I better look that up. So now that I landed on it again, the chase track, dinosaur encounter. This space summons a dinosaur to distract the pursuing creature, enables the fleeing expedition to escape. So I have to land on it, but I'm probably going to get out. Yeah, I did. All right, so I go back to camp. Just back to here. Apatosaurus, it was revealed here. I'm back at camp, and I lose a turn. I got 2 experience cards still. I only have up to 5. Okay, so I lose a turn. Next turn. I've used 15 turns so far, and I have 6 victory points, which means now I can go around on this part of the track. Here I go. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I go bouncing around between here and there. Before I get my tool, I have to move the Apatosaurus. Apatosaurus is going to go to the right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the Ankylosaurus. And for me, I get a tool. Very cool. Camera. I already have a flipping camera. I don't need another camera. That really sucks. So you can see this can be a very a swingy game. Okay. That's a bummer. Well, at least I can get more tools. You know, it's not the end of the world. And I can move 2 on the board. 2. Let's just go to the one in front of us in case the T-Rex is going to get excited here. Okay, Iguanodon Glade. Get 1 victory point for that. And so that is E. The Iguanodon is not up yet, so it appears right where I am. And that is E. So I can go in next turn. Here it is. And I need the lariat and the net, which I have both. So this should be a very successful adventure. So I am going to go on that one. And so I burn another turn to go in. And you see there in the upper right-hand corner, I already have 2 cards. And because I have the net and the lariat, I get 3 more. So I'm at my max hand size. 1, 2. I should be able to do a better job of it. And a 6. Okay, I could discard another experience card. Discard for another. Add 1 to any chase or battle roll. Your expedition may move 2 extra hexes on the Lost World Plateau. All right, so I have a bunch of 1s, 2, and a 6. So let's plan this out here. Draw an event card. I don't want that. Now, if I can get to the 3, that'd be great. What about the 6? Stay out of the way. Lose a tool. 1. If I spend a 1, I do have the Iguanodon. I can have the T-Rex come. So let's take a look at this again. If the creature you summon wins or ties, the attacker may not attack you. Otherwise, go to battle with the original attacker. So I have to assume that the T-Rex would kill it. Now, why am I looking at that as a possibility? Because if I purposely go with a 2, I can go to the 2 and draw an event. All right, I'm going to go to the 2. This could be bad. I'm going to purposely draw an event. So I played an experience card and I went there on purpose. Okay, let's see what the event is. This could be bad. It's not. It's black. And so that's what you want. You will complete your collection of extinct... I'm having trouble seeing the screen here. Leptodopters in Coelbetera for 4 extra victory points if you complete adventures in both the Apatosaurus Swamp and Rocky Track. Play at your option, but only upon ending your turn in the Lakeshore Hex. Okay, well, that's something as an option. Well, that's good to know. Now I'm going to play the 1. And I'm going to move on purpose to here and get a victory point. So now I'm up to 8. Now if I play the 6, I get to 9. lose an experience card. If I play a 1, I get to the 4 where nothing happens, but then I can get to the 10. Okay, so I play the 1. Oops, wrong camera. So I'm going to play the 1 on purpose. Move here where nothing happens. Then play the 6. Move to the 10 where my camera allows me to score a victory point. That's what that camera symbol means. So now I'm at 9. And if I play a 1 again, I can draw an experience card, which is fine. Now if I get something good, a 4, I can discard for another experience card, but if I move exactly to the 15, I battle the iguanodon. But if I can get a 2, I can get 5 victory points and complete the adventure. I'll move that up there so you can see that. So I'm going to discard this for a different experience card. Hopefully I get a 2. I got a 4 again. Reroll once, any dice or die roll. So, alright, maybe I'll get lucky and roll a 2, or I'll spend this card to reroll it. A 6, which means I battle the iguanodon. I'm going to reroll it. Got a 6 again. Alright, well, I complete the adventure no matter what. So I gotta write down on this thing here that E is finished. Okay? And I'm going to use my card to summon the T-Rex. Because the T-Rex is within 2 spaces. So you have 8 versus 2. T-Rex eats it up. You can't even defeat it. Okay, so I basically, the T-Rex ate it up. And I just want to make sure, yep, I'm okay. Now, because I completed the adventure, I get an experience card. So now I have a 3 to use. And in another adventure, I could use it out here if it wasn't for this card messing with me, as you saw me draw earlier. All right, so I have that. Remember, you get that as a reward when you complete things. Well, at least I'm up to 9 victory points. Not too bad. I've only lost 1 tool, my gas bomb. All right, so I pop back out. Remember, you can land on dinosaurs out here. It's just if they move on to you, you're screwed. All right, so here I am going to take another turn here. Move around the edge here. Okay, here I go. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not past 12. Victory points, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, get an experience card. That's good. I got it. And that's where I needed it. I needed that 2 on that adventure, because then I could have gotten 5 victory points and landed in the right spot. All right. And I rolled a 9. The Stegosaurus is going to be moving. The Stegosaurus is right here. It could come towards me. 5 is going to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can move up to 3 spaces. I got to mark down that I went to the pinnacle. Otherwise, I'm going to forget that I already got that victory point. Little things like that could be improved with better game design, where you don't have to write down stuff. God, so many of them are around. I'm going to go all the way up here. 1, 2, 3. Darn it, carnivorous plants. So I lose a tool and a turn. Okay, I lose my turn. And I'll just lose my lariat, my extra lariat. So that was okay, not too bad. I didn't have to lose the one that's written on my sheet. But I did lose a turn. All right, next turn. 4. So who am I facing? 1, 2, 3, 4. I am getting an event. Ankylosaurus. Where's Ankylosaurus? right here. It's moving 3, so that means it's going to go clockwise 2, 1, 2. All right, and I move 1. Nothing around. I can try to go into the Potosaurus again. I think I will, because I didn't finish it. I'm going to go in the A. So I move on it, and the next turn I can go in it. All right, so next turn, let's find it right here. Because you can re-enter an adventure if you're kicked out. It's only when you complete it you can't go back in. So I already have 2 cards. And I have the egg crate, so I get another one. Got a 6 this time. All right, so I can go to the 2, get a victory point. I can go to the 3, play experience point for next move, so I don't want to do that. 6, lose 1 ammo. All right, I'm going to the 2. Get a victory point. So that's discarded. And now I am up to 10 victory points, 15 more to go. This is very thematic. So where am I at? I am right here. And now if I play the 3, I would be on the 5 to get a victory point, or if I do the 2 plus 8 is 2 plus 6 is 8, quicksand losing a tool if I don't have a lariat. Well, I'm going to play the 3, get another victory point, because that's all I care about. Getting victory points. So now I'm on the 5. Now if I go to the 11, I battle a Potosaurus. So I'm going to have to roll randomly here, so this could be bad. At least I've gotten 2 victory points. 2. A lake bars your way. Move ahead 2 frames with a canoe or move backwards. Well, if I go backwards to 1 by playing the 6, that's bad, so I'm going to go backwards randomly. 3. 1, 2, 3. Draw an event card. I startled birds rise. All right, let's see what I got. Oh, it's red. Look at all that text. This is probably bad. Indians and 8 men war for control of the plateau and are fighting a battle in your hex. Unless allied to both sides, you may not intervene. If you wish, by using 1 clip of rifle ammunition, never a gas bomb or other weapon, and adding 1 die roll, never 2, to the side of your choice, if your side wins the battle, you may use them on future as allies weapons. If your side loses or ties the battle, you lose a tool of your choice, return to camp, and lose a turn. You must participate in the battle on the side of any current ally, but may add 1 die roll only if you expend a clip of ammunition. Regardless of the outcome, henceforth you may never ally with the side you fight against. Play immediately. Well, because the Indians, that's a way to get off the plateau, I'm going to ally with them. Let's see here. Hopefully they win. So it's 3 versus 4. And the 8 men have a +1. All right, so I'm burning ammunition. Okay. Make sure. I'm trying to look at. All right, so the Indians roll 2 dice because I added in a rifle. So 3 plus 5 is 8. Now the 8 men roll. Jesus. 10. So I lost. And I can never be 8 men allies. 8 men, allies. So you got to write this crap down. I at least tried to help. And the Indians don't want it. They're not even my allies because they didn't win, but I tried to help them. I return back to base camp. I lose a tool, which is my extra camera. And I lose a turn. Now it's the next turn. So I'm at turn 22 right now. All right, I just can't seem to get past that adventure. At least I got 2 victory points out of it. All right, let's roll again here. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, at least I get experience card. So I'll get in a moment. Well, they can't. Well, hang on. I'm in the base camp. I can't get it. But a creature moves. 8. Podosaurus moves. It moves to the upper left. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I can move 3. Oh, let's go here. Could be bad. Because there's near other shortcut. Take another turn. Hey, that's something. So I don't lose a mark off a turn. Burning through a turn. 3. 1, 2, 3. I do get an event card. And it's a 1. And be facing this way. And what is 3? Is the Dimetrodon, which is right here. It moves towards me. Wow, that sucks. Right here is a 3. And it lands on me. So now I gotta spin a rifle. See what it gets first. A 5. Well, I'm gonna have to burn to 2 ammo here. Shot to beat a 5. So why I've been rolling. Let's see if it works. 6. I did. All right, so I didn't have to run away. Now I get to go 4 spaces. Let's go all the way in the corner right here. Okay, the bamboo. Break. I lose a turn. Oh, how lovely. Boom, that turn, and now I am in turn 24. I only have 16 more turns left. 3. 1, 2, 3. I do get an experience card. Of course, I'll get it. Well, I will get it no matter what. 4. But what moves? The Dimetrodon moves again. It moves 6. Upper left. 2. 1, 2. And I can move 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go right next to it. Nothing here. Okay, mark off another turn. Turn 25. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, it's an event, but what moves on 8? The Podosaurus. Podosaurus is right here. It moves to the right, so it's going to go around the edge here. Okay. And I can move 1. I'll go to this one right next to the Dimetrodon. That could be bad. Hey, I got the rope, which I can use on the pinnacle. Now, is the pinnacle, is that an adventure? It is. It's just not marked on the map. Oh. Okay. So that's a little bit of an error on here. Or what it is. Alright, so I've been misreading this the whole time, guys. The pinnacle isn't 1 victory point for finding it. It's Adventure I. So I'll mark off that victory point, and that's Adventure K. Again, that's what happens when, I played it with Julie, and I just made that error. So I'm going to go on the pinnacle adventure, which I should have did earlier. All right, so next turn. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't go anywhere, but I roll, get an event. Did I forget to draw an event there? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was supposed to draw an event before that one. Let's see what I got. Okay, capture a Mesosaurus and score 2 victory points if you have the fish tank in which to keep the creature. Play at your option, but only when ending your turn in the lake, shore, or central lake. All right, so hopefully I can get a fish tank, which I do not have. Hopefully I'll find one. I got to remember that. Okay. So when I marked off, hey, remember that you got a victory point on the pinnacle. No, that's not what it was. It's the letter of the adventure. So certain adventures start right away. You can go on without having to find things, which is that is a good thing to have. All right, so now I landed here, and now I draw another event because I forgot to draw the event on the previous turn. Of course, it's red. A pterodactyl swoops down to your party and makes off with a valuable specimen case. Roll 1 die and lose that many victory points down to a minimum of 0. Play immediately. All right, so this is where the game gets punishing. I only lost 1. So now I have 9 victory points. That really sucks. If I were to... See, that's too swingy. If I were to roll a 6, I probably would have just given up. Okay, and I didn't move anywhere until the next turn. I probably would have quit if that would have happened. 2. 1, 2. And I move the iguanodon. Where's the iguanodon? Is he out yet? Yes. Right here. 6 is going upper left. 2 spots. 1, 2. Okay, I get a tool. Hopefully it's something I can use. Hey, the fish tank. And I did get the card with the fish tank. I just got to get to the lakeshore or central lake with it. All right, very cool. And I can go use that on adventures too. And so I got to go 2, right? So I can move through the Dimetrodon. I'm on the edge, so I'll get 2 victory points. I'm back up to 11, which I should have been. So I burn this card. Okay. That was good luck. Oh, I'm going to mark the next turn. I'm running out of time, though. On turn 28. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another tool. But who's moving first? Triceratops. Triceratops is here. It won't be able to get to me. 2 to the right. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's off to the side of me. And I get a tool. Shovel. Which I have, of course. That sucks. Well, at least I can lose it. And I move 2 spaces. Well, I'm not getting to the pinnacle right away, so I might as well go to this unexplored site right here. Okay, the Stegosaurus Meadow. I discovered that spot. See, that's what confused me. It didn't, you know, I should have known with the stars. All right, so now I'm up to 12, which means I can circle around this part of the board. And so next turn, let me mark it. I'm going to go in no matter what. I don't care if I have enough tools, because I'm running out of time here. L. L. J, K, L. Yep. All right, let's see what we need. The specimen cage. Is that isn't the fish tank the specimen cage? Hang on. Okay, it's a little different. You know, I better make sure. Specimen cage, fish tank. Yeah, they are different. Okay. They look similar. One is like a net, a fish net kind of thing. So I don't have that. I don't have the pull. That's too bad because I have 3 cards. That's why I'm going in. Like Snake Plissken, I'm going in. All right. So I have a 6, 1, and 4. If I go to 1, I score 1 victory point. Spot a Smilodon on the prow. If I go to 6, score 1 victory point, but lose 1 round of ammo. If I do a 4, play an experience card on your next move. Well, I'm going to do the 1. Okay, I'm going to play that. Get that victory point. Okay. And then I go to the 7. If I go here, draw an experience card, find a path. Or I can go to the 5, battle Stegosaurus. I'm not going to do that. So I'll go to 7. Play the 6. Draw an experience card. I could roll the die randomly, but you know what happens when I do that. If I film a Stegosaurus, 7 plus 3 is 10, or 11, score a victory point. Now, if I play a 4, I'd be an 11, and if I play a 3, complete adventure. But I want to get to the 13. Is that even possible? Well, at least I'll do the 3. Go here, get another victory point. I'm at 14 points right now. Okay. See, in modern game design, you'd be given little chits, right? And I can go to the 14 and complete it, or I can roll. Hopefully I get a 1, or a 3, or a 4. But if I get a 2, or a 5 or higher, I'm battling the Stegosaurus. Well, I'm going to chance it. A 4. Well, at least I have to discard my card. I did complete the adventure. I get a new one as a reward, which is a 5. And I got to mark down that I completed L. Okay. So I pop back out. Let me mark down the next turn before I forget. I only have 10 more turns. So I pop back out. Where is the Stegosaurus area? Right here. And so it's the next turn. I wonder if I didn't mark the turn when I went in to begin with. You know what? I probably have at some point, so I'm going to mark it down right here. I'm sure I've forgotten along the way, and some of you probably have noticed that if you're watching the whole time here. So here we go. 9. So now I will wrap around this way because I have 14 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the creature is going to move towards me. And that is the Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus is all the way over here. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, and I move 2 spots. Let's go on the pinnacle. I need to get more victory points. So the pinnacle is I. Is that correct? Pinnacle is I. It's kind of hard to see it on the board. Here's the pinnacle. I think this one's the easiest one. Should have remembered that. Okay, if you have the lariat, you get 2 cards. It says right there in the upper right-hand corner. I start out with the 5 from the last one. Here is my 2 cards. Oh, I moved there. Now I got to mark off that I'm going in. So that's a turn going in. Okay. So 2, score a victory point. 5, play an experience card on the next turn. 4, battle a, well, I'm just going to get the victory point. Okay, I play it. I'm up to 15, need 10 more. I don't think I'm going to make it though. Now if I go 7, score 2 victory points. Or 6. I'm definitely doing the 7. Ah, that's a little better. That's 17 I'm at right now. Okay. If I go to 11, lose a tool in victory equal to the roll of 1 die. I don't want that. That sucks. So then I guess I'm going to roll. Hopefully I don't get a 4. A 2. 1, 2. Got lucky. Find a sample of Cooksonia. I guess it's some kind of plant. Okay, 18 now. Now if I go to 13, complete adventure, return to camp. I'm just going to do that because there's nothing good that can happen between here. Now, you would go on this adventure, which I do have the rope now. I can use the, use the rope to build a bridge. That's pretty cool. I would want to get over a 14 to build the bridge, but I don't have 25 victory points yet. So I'm just going to get out, and I can go on this one again, so I don't have to mark that off because it's an exit. All right, so as reward, I get experience card. I have a 3. I pop back out. I'm on the pinnacle. Next turn, I'm on turn 33. Here I go. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I over 18? Yes, I am. I'm exactly at 18. 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, I get on a creature. And it's going to be the Stegosaurus, so it's coming right at me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can move 1 space. Stuff on that side of the board. I'll go to camp where I'm safe. And did I already do? I already did the Iguanodon Glade. All right, so I'll mark off another turn. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Find a path, take another turn. First, I got to move a monster, a dinosaur. Potosaurus goes to the right, so it's going to curve around. It goes right here. So for me, though, I can go 2 spaces first. And then now I roll to move. And I don't have to mark off the turn at least. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang it. T-Rex is going to land on me. Yeah, it's guaranteed. Because it's going to move towards me. All right. See what it does in combat. I don't have any allies. If I had 8 allies or Indian allies, I might have a chance. 12. I'm not even going to bother. Okay, so we're doing a chase. So now I'm going to be losing a turn. Okay, here I go. 4, 1. Oh, I start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. T-Rex. 1. 1, 2. T-Rex. 1, 2, 3, 4 is gaining on me. Darn it. 3. 1, 2, 3. It's 1 spot away from me. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was lucky. Of course, it's right behind me, so very intense here. 2. 1, 2. Rough terrain, move back 1. Uh-oh, I might lose a tool. Oh, I got lucky. 1. 3. 1, 2, 3. 5. 1, 2, 3. So I lost the tool. I will lose the shovel, my extra shovel. And then I get out. All right, so I go back. I did lose a tool. So the T-Rex appears back. We haven't found the T-Rex area yet. So it goes back to where it landed on me. I go to the camp. I lose a turn. I only have this turn and 4 more left. I don't think I'm making it, guys. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't draw the experience card because I'm in the camp. And so that would basically a loss of turn because I can't move on the plateau. It says 0. All right. And remember, I have this crappy card here. I can't spend my 3 to go where I want. All right, next turn, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I lose another turn. It's very swingy. Okay, try again. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, well, I can move 1, but then it will be the Apatosaurus that will be coming towards me, which is all the way up there. So be it. 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. And second to last turn. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I get a second turn at least. And 8 is the Apatosaurus. Apatosaurus goes 1 to the right. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go 2. So I go to this unexplored, the lost map, which is good for the Indian caves, but whatever. Okay, I do get an extra turn here, which is good. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Experience card. Very nice. I can move 5 spaces. You can't see it right here, but that's where it is. And what's moving? Oh, the T-Rex, of course. So the T-Rex flipping lands on me again. At least I get my experience card. That sucks. Let's see what it rolls. 13. Cannot beat that. So we play chase again. Doesn't matter. I lose a turn. Game over. So, 18. I was 7 away. I got some bad luck. Especially a card like this. And some other adventures how that popped up. Well, you saw me play solo. You can see it has a lot of potential. If someone were to remake this game. I mean, the comic panels are really cool. This is why this is nostalgia for me. I remember playing with my friends, and we would, you know, when it was competitive, we would cheer when they had bad luck, especially on the dinosaur track here when you're losing tools. And this is, you know, we were teenagers, okay? So we weren't very nice to each other. We were very competitive. But I know my friend, he still has his copy. We still play games today. So if anything, for those of you who watch this, if you're into old Avalon Hill games and you're into solo games, yeah, I had fun. Even though it's swingy at times, it stayed in my collection for 35 years. And I don't plan on selling it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment below if you did, and subscribe and like. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.